Welcome to the Sporty stream and to Cross Progression League playoffs. I'm Sporty FC. Joining me here is AraufbeastRL. Welcome in to Cross Progression League, the losers finals of the Masters Division, just around the corner here. And that means for both these teams, only one chance left to make it to the grand finals and have a chance of winning it all. AraufbeastRL, welcome. How are you feeling? It's a big match. It might be one of the biggest of the season so far.
I am very, very excited for this today, Sporty. We have a very interesting matchup again. We have KCG Chaos 1.0 versus the very own KCG Foot Minions. Both teams absolutely amazing. Crusty, pretty much probably going to be the most excited out of this matchup. Both of our teams going to have a guaranteed, I could say, appearance into the grand finals here. Either team that's going to be pushed in is going to be a KCG team. It could be very exciting for this matchup because it's also going to be the top league in CPL. How do you feel about that, though, Sporty?
I don't really care too much about rank. I care more about the fact that these two teams both want revenge. I mean, it's really more of a revenge story than rank. We can talk all about we want about how good these players are, but really, these teams are good. That's all you need to know. The question, though, is rank-wise. These teams have a bit of a chip on their shoulder at this point. They both played in that upper bracket and both lost to Team Blair, who are in the grand finals right now. Blair, you mentioned Krusty's excited. Blair's going to be excited because they're guaranteed to play against a team that they've already beaten. And not just beaten, but swept. They swept KCG Chaos in the upper semifinals. And then KCG Foot Minions in the upper finals. So they've already beaten both these teams. They're going to be pretty excited because no matter who they play, it's someone that they've already beaten. As we'll take a look at our lower bracket now. KCG Chaos themselves have had to make a pretty good run going through KCG K9 most recently. But again, I think for Team Blair, they'll be pretty happy because whoever they play against are going to have the major advantage too. For both these teams, though, they've got a lot to prove. They've got a lot that they need to go to, and more importantly, only one of them can get that chance at rematch. So it's going to be important for them to get that rematch, to get that second chance to win this tournament. Because, well, the last time these two teams played against Blair, it didn't go quite so well. So getting that second chance, they're going to hope that that second chance will be better than their first one.
Yeah, and definitely both teams likely already watched their film from that series. Going to be very interesting, but they're going to have to figure out how to beat each other first if they want to be able to go against Blay. You need to think about here and now of all things if you're going to try and beat Blay, because it does not start at you looking into the future. You've got to look at now. You've got to try and pull off a miracle here if you want to continue to keep your season alive.
Yeah, and you might mention it as well. It's been a long season as well. These teams have had, 4 or 5 week regular season and then an extra couple of weeks on playoffs. It's been we're at the end of the season here, and that means for both these teams, even now more than ever, you do not want to lose these matches. You do not want to be out. But it's losers finals. Only one team can make it to the grand finals. Only one team can get that chance to, play against Blair, look to win the whole thing. Both these teams have had their chances. Both these teams have been high seeded into this tournament. Clearly, it takes a lot more than that if you're gonna win this whole tournament. And now they gotta play each other. It's a terrible situation to be in because I think this is a match that either team can win. But I think coming in this matchup, I think actually Chaos have the advantage. They played in lower bracket, and lower bracket momentum is a real thing. It's an absolutely real thing. So for Foot Minions, I think the real question coming into game one is how are they feeling? How are they going to play? Chaos have momentum. How are they going to stop that immediately?
Yeah, just a lot of pressure on both teams as well. Just trying to figure out, you can probably figure both of them are KCG teams. Both of them know each other very well. So this is basically going to be your typical grudge match here. A little bit of what we usually see in RLCS with NA versus NA on LAN at majors. This is basically what we're going to see on stream here.
It's even more intimate than that. These teams know each other quite well, but they haven't played each other at all this season. That's a big point about this. They have not played each other all season. They're from different sides of the season. They were in different groups, so they now have to play against each other for the first time this season. And in a best of 7 like this, it's not a long matchup. You got to learn very quickly. That means this first game is really going to matter. In rematches, this first game doesn't matter as much, but in matches like these where you don't maybe necessarily don't know your opponent as well, this first game really matters. First impressions do make a difference in matches as important as these.
Yeah, and if you are currently joining us from my stream, we are currently collabing a little bit here. We are currently now live on my stream as well, if you'd like to watch from our point of view. But definitely going to be very interesting. KCG Chaos versus KCG Foot Minions is going to be very exciting series here. Going to absolutely love both teams clashing against each other. It's going to be an absolute grudge match of the century in CPL. And we are about to go live in about a minute or two with the first game?
Well, it depends on the players get here, but we do have one of these two teams. It
Yeah.
seems like Ant and company might be, maybe their practice has gone a bit longer than expected. But Foot Minions are here, and it's Icarus and Squiddy. I mean, it's two starters, so I would expect that on the side for KCG. I mean, either those three players can play. Ant, Brock, Otakua really can play, and I'm sure they'll be fine here. But again, we'll hopefully get things underway momentarily here, as we are getting some technical issues. Thank you for the sub there, Krusty. 7 month subs. Thank you so much. Krusty says hi, by the way. So, Krusty says hi. I'm sure she says hi to both of us. So, we'll wait a little bit. It seems like there's been some tech issues with KCG Chaos. We'll wait a little bit on getting an answer here. But what I have heard, as I have actually just gotten messages, Ant is apparently having some really bad technical issues. So, we might be having a longer than expected pause here for this lower finals. And hopefully by the end of this, Ant will be available to play. But we're going to have to wait a little bit for Ant to be here. But, you know, while we're doing this, Arauf, again, it's lower finals. All the pressures in the world on these players, I'm almost certain. I can only imagine what these teams are feeling. And to be fair, these players aren't going to feel nearly as much pressure as maybe their lower ranked counterparts in some of these other divisions. But still, a lot of pressure on these teams to perform well. And again, a lot of pressure, not only because it's going to be a close match, but because they know who is ahead of them. Blair is ahead of them again. Even if you don't win this thing, you still got to put it that prize pool. So getting second place really does matter, because you at least get something for your troubles.
It's going to be extremely interesting when it comes to KCG Chaos. We saw them a little bit earlier in the season when came time for playoffs. They did play against Bleb, but they were not able to actually get that series going. We had a little bit of technical difficulties. Epic did just release Season 19 that exact day, like the update for it. So Ant kind of put in a little bit unfortunate situation there. They had to forfeit that series. So they'll try to bounce back, try to actually be able to get a series against Bleb here if they win this. So this is going to be definitely very interesting for KCG Chaos.
Yeah, so again, we'll wait a little bit and see if we can get some answers for you right now. While we are hopefully going to get these players in the lobby in a moment. But again, while we are waiting for this matchup to begin, Chaos. We talked so much about Chaos, about how this team hasn't been able to perform well, but KCG Foot Minions themselves, again, got swept in the upper. I mean, both these teams want that rematch. They both want that chance to win this thing. I can't imagine anybody who wouldn't want this one if you're in either of these teams' positions, but you gotta perform well. You gotta be able to perform well. You gotta be able to stand up tall. These teams have a lot to prove, I think, still. And considering that this is a Blair roster that has been so far unstoppable, it really, I hate saying this because I said it before the stream. It really feels like it's the match of who's gonna lose to Blair, but again, both these teams want that revenge. I know they want it desperately. They want to get there. They want to at least give it a second chance against Blair, because I have to imagine that both these teams weren't very happy with the first chance it went. And, you know, coming to this match, it's kind of like, it feels like it's more of a revenge match for Blair. Talk to me about you know, how much that kind of revenge really matters in a match like this. How much that emotion can play into a match as important as this one is in your season.
Yeah, considering just from my experience alone with esports, you really want this little revenge tour here. The revenge tour always feels sweeter when you come out with a win. You turn around, go down to them earlier. You feel like you could have beaten them, and all you want to do is just turn around and just smack the crap out of them in the series. Of course, not physically, but at least be able to prove that that loss was maybe just a little bit of luck from the other team. And it has been a little bit close between everybody that has been in Masters Division. KCG Foot Minions and KCG Chaos, one of the best teams here, which is why they are in the lower finals here, playing against each other. But overall, just being able to finally get their revenge on Bleh, and KCG Chaos actually wanting to get their first crack at Bleh after having to take that forfeit. Definitely going to feel nice for either team here if they can turn around and take down Bleh in the grand finals.
You said as well here. As again, we are still getting updates here again on the technical issues. That's why we're still waiting here, but it seems like we'll be waiting a little bit longer than expected for a match. So, again, while you're doing this, hopefully all of you are there, are enjoying your day. Hopefully all of you enjoyed your Canada Day. To all of my fellow Canadians out there, hello. Happy Canada Day to all of you. And to all of my Americans out there, happy early 4th of July. I'm sure we'll be live on 4th of July as well, but happy early 4th of July to all of you who are celebrating. But, and we'll be waiting a little bit for updates overall on will work, but again, we are still waiting a little bit on updates. But again, the unfortunate situation, it seems like there's some real technical issues here with KCG Chaos. So Off Beasts, I guess we'll just keep on waiting. But again, I mean, this is a big match. It's an important one. These teams are both saying that they want to play this match, so we're going to have to wait a little bit longer than expected. I promise to you, all of you, we're not waiting because we feel like it. We're waiting because we don't have all the players in the lobby just yet. But, I mean, this is the best of 7. It's a big match. It's a decently long matchup, and considering how this bracket has gone, most of these matches have been pretty one-sided. We've seen a lot of sweeps in this Masters division, so I would expect that this isn't going to be a sweep, but we've seen so many of them. You really feel like that first game's going to matter, even just for that. Well, it's going to matter because I mean, with how many sweeps we've had, with how one-sided these matches have been, it really does feel like that first game is going to make all the difference.
Yeah, and the biggest thing too, I think for KCG Chaos, just the biggest thing is whether Ant's computer wants to be a little bit of a potato here.
And to be fair, this is not the first time that this has happened to Ant on my stream, so
yeah.
Ant seems to,
mine as well.
as much as he's a great player, he has the absolute worst computer I've ever heard of because it never works when it needs to. So we're waiting on Ant and more importantly Ant's computer. But while that is hopefully getting itself sorted out here for this matchup. But again, while that's happening, seems like we are gonna have a longer than expected delay. So actually, what I'm gonna do is, at least on my side here, I'm gonna go to a break. We're not gonna keep talking for. It seems like maybe another 10 minutes here. I'm gonna go to break. I'll be back in hopefully in like 10 minutes, and we'll actually have our series starting then. Sorry everybody out there who's waiting. I'm gonna go to intermission. We'll be back in, give it 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead and head back into intermission as well. We will see you guys whenever we have everything sorted out. Please stay tuned to both of our streams. We will be back shortly.
Alright, welcome back everybody. That was a lot shorter. Apparently the PC's back and running. So, Araufbeast and myself, we've been waiting a little bit, but we're good to get things going. So here we go. Get things underway, and yep, everybody's here. So let's get this match going. We've been waiting long enough. I'm impatient. So let's get this match going. Araufbeast, our best of 7 begins. KCG, Foot Minions, and KCG Chaos. A spot in the Grand Finals waits for these teams to take on Blair and try to get the rematch that they want. But to do that, they gotta go through each other. Only one team can pass. The other will be eliminated at the end of their season. KCG Foot Minions, KCG Chaos, the losers finals, and one spot in the Grand Finals remains for either of these teams.
It's definitely gonna be a very interesting matchup here, and immediately right off the kickoff, it's gonna be Brock here immediately gonna take the first goal for KCG Chaos. Absolutely great kickoff there from Ant, able to secure the goal here. But we've got to make sure we've got to try and stay in this match here. If you are KCG Foot Minions, this is only the first 30 seconds. It's fine to give up a goal here, but you've got to step it up here if you want to try and get to the grand finals.
So often I see in 2v2, goals are going to be commonplace. They're not going to ever slow down. They're not ever going to stop. Goals are commonplace in this game mode. It's really more about how you adapt and how you respond to those goals. As Brock looking for a chance of his own. Is if we believe his player name, then apparently he had his wisdom teeth taken out not too long ago. So can't wait for when that happens with me, and literally in like less than a month. But for KCG Foot Minions and for KCG Chaos, it's gonna make things even more interesting for them here. As KCG, oh, we're gonna have an awkward play here. KCG Chaos will go the other way. Brock looking for Ant and a chance downfield, but not really doing too much here. One goal so far for KCG Chaos, and oh, it kind of feels like they're content to just sit back and wait and really, I think, try to study KCG Foot Minions. And this is not a surprise with these teams. They haven't played each other all season. They're just trying to learn kind of what the other's going to do. They may have experience against each other, but in a matchup like this, you oftentimes will need to relearn what your opponent's going to do all over again.
Yeah, you kind of gotta ask, was this season a little bit rigged for KCG? And oh, this is gonna be a little bit close. But yeah, the teams not playing against each other, not even in playoffs until now. Definitely gonna be very interesting for KCG. Just a lot of back and forth gameplay here. You can tell they're both trying to figure each other out, trying to figure out ways to poke through each other's defenses, but just nobody finding the net after that first goal from KCG Chaos.
Brock to the back corner. There'll be Icarus waiting as Brock's got to move here. No boost to work with. And Icarus will keep it away. And Ant's going to stay back as well, playing more defensive here. KCG Chaos really not trying to play aggressive early on in this game. Instead, they're just trying to wait. Really trying to let the I feel like the time to itself, and I think they're just trying to wait for Foot Minions to make a mistake, and this will be it here! Everybody committed, and it's a wide open net for Ant, a 2-0 lead.
A great way to capitalize there, and just staying patient on the back line. A little bit of an overcommit there from Squid, and Ant just gonna punch it right back to the other side. Great way to capitalize off of the defense there.
One mistake, that's all Chaos need. They're just playing patient. They're letting KCG Foot Minions overthink the play here in game one, but I don't know how long that's going to stay consistent here. This is a... You can't really rely on mistakes to win you matches, but for now, for KCG Chaos, they can at least rely on those mistakes to help them out. The beginning of game one is halfway through. Still no goals for KCG Foot Minions, and oh, it's so little time to go now. They gotta be very careful with their offense, because it has not worked yet, and that seems to be a much bigger concern. The mistakes are going to happen, but the offense, they need to have that working. If it doesn't work, they're going to be in real big trouble for the rest of the series.
Yeah, they really need to figure out this KCG Chaos team, because the KCG Foot Minions, they are a great team. They've been able to take down amazing teams here in the playoffs. But for right now, they are almost non-existent on offense here. They've had a couple of opportunities, but they've just not been able to capitalize on a demo there coming from Amp, but it's going to be instantly back to his side. Just a lot of nerves here, even for me. This is just such a high tense matchup. Just no way to easily try and get the most open net in the world. Both defenses really strong here. So you've got to try and get creative if you want to find a goal.
And you mentioned the nerves as well, and I wonder if these teams are feeling those nerves. I mean, it's so easy to feel nerves in this position. I'm sure they're feeling at least something, but the question is kind of how used to those nerves can you be? Is some great demos here. Squiddy's got rid of both defenders, and Icarus with room, one to beat, but Rock will be ready for it. And again, those nerves, you wonder if maybe those nerves are hurting Foot Minions early on in this first game, but still trying to find something. Oh, he missed it! Squiddy's gonna have this one!
Wow!
And KCG Foot Minions with an answer as Squiddy, I think he was looking for the fake. I don't know how this worked, because Brock, he must have thought he was going to go across the net there, but Squiddy didn't make a move, and it's a goal back for KCG Foot Minions.
There's a rare sight there from KCG Chaos. They tried to get the read, thought he was going to hit it there, but Squid just going to turn around, just take the fake. Icarus immediately trying to look for the equalizer, but it's going to be easily saved and going back in the hands of Squiddy on the midfield line here.
Yeah, and right now, KCG Chaos just trying to stay consistent on those challenges. They're only up by one. This is a very small lead to hold, especially in a 2v2 game, with Foot Minions now controlling a lot more of the offense. And I think the big thing for KCG Chaos is just not overcommitting. You overcommit, you give this team a 2-on-1. If any minions are going to score on that, they're individually, they're good enough to win on 1v1. If you give them 2v1s, they're not going to miss their chances. So for KCG Chaos, the big name of the game here, do not give Foot Minions too many opportunities where they have more players on it as Icarus. Got
Yeah,
played
and
Brock
we
early.
are approaching the 30-second mark here, so KCG Foot Minions really need to move fast here if they want to try and figure out how to tie this up. They aren't going to get much breathing room, though. KCG Chaos still a great defense they've got to try and work around, and Brock just trying to shut the offense down further, just trying to play keep away here. Absolutely 200 IQ coming from KCG Chaos as we approach the final 10 seconds of game 1.
Who commits an open play here for Foot Minions as it's going to go around the corner. Icarus kept out by Brock, but it will only go as far as Squid. Midfield, Icarus, he's kind of out of position here. The shot will not be good enough. And Ant will drop it to the ground. A 2-1 game. Very low scoring for 2v2, but KCG Chaos, well, they just played good defense. They played consistent, and more importantly, they waited for those mistakes from KCG Foot Minions, and for Foot Minions, their offense just wasn't there this game. 7 shots, but I couldn't remember most of them. It just wasn't a good offensive performance from Foot Minions, and that felt like more the difference than their mistakes were.
Yeah, it was definitely great there from KCG Chaos. Just able to capitalize when they needed to, but at the end of the day, you've got to make sure you try to find a way to come out there, just come out swinging, make sure that you secure the lead. You can't give up on defense too quickly or turn around, kick you in the rear end every single time.
You said it as well, game 2 now, and for KCG Chaos, so often we see teams, after winning that first game, go on multi-game runs. KCG Foot Minions, now they know how this Chaos team wants to play, and I'll be honest, the momentum and I think if these teams play it the way that I know that they can, Foot Minions have that advantage. Chaos are playing very passive right now. They're waiting for mistakes. I think for Foot Minions, if they want to be successful in this one, it's going to be about being able to take a more realistically offensive approach, a much more aggressive approach, playing higher up on the field, maybe getting more demos, doing something to make that KCG Chaos rotation fall apart, because simply put, Chaos are waiting for Foot Minions to make the move, not the other way around, and that should favor Foot Minions on whatever they do next.
Yeah, and definitely just trying to find a way to get around KCG Chaos is going to be the biggest thing for KCG Foot Minions. They can't just try to wait to control it, just try to be patient. They've got to try and break out. They've got to try and put it forward, try to open up those opportunities. Usually you will see a lot of demos coming out from a lot of the higher teams here to try and open that up. That's going to be probably their best bet if they really want to try and break down this KCG Chaos defense.
Well, I think it's going to more so just be about holding that midfield as well. Squiddy gives this one away off that pinch of the sidewall. Lance will find Brock, and here's a chance in the other way. Brock's going to get over the last defender. Second touch! Smash into the back of the net. KCG Chaos go up 1.
A pass from Ant to Brock. Brock just going to put it over Icarus there. Just going to find the open net. Absolutely beautiful from there. And it's just going to be the only way that they're going to score here. But it looks like it's starting to come out all KCG Chaos in game 2 right now.
1 goal so far, though. I would hold your horses if I was you, Arauf. This is still a very close game. We know Chaos aren't ones to score a lot of goals. At least game 1 has proven that they aren't going to score lots with the way that they're playing right now. And I don't think they mind that. It just comes down to, again, what does Foot Minions do to give their own chances? They only had 1 goal last game. You won't be winning games if you don't score more than 1 goal. As Chaos will keep possession. Back past Ant. It's a very heavy first touch. Squiddy's going to have a free play here as Brock to save. Ant will wait on this one as Icarus waits back. Ant still. And Squiddy's going to catch up here, but that's what he wants. The pass to Brock, it goes wide. No second touch, he'll leave it for Ant. And in fact, actually, he's going to take this himself. Now back to Ant. KCG Chaos keep it. 1-on-1 now as Ant on Icarus. Squid, he's complete out of the play here as Ant will win out the challenge, but Icarus just waiting. He'll win the play. He'll get a chance the other way to go down the field, but KCG Chaos, again, happy to play defensive, happy to wait back. KCG Foot Minions are going to have to do more if they're going to get any chances that can really go in consistently. But this might be it. And never jumped for it. He was out of position. And Squiddy will watch as maybe the easiest goal he'll have all night arrives right on his front bumper.
Yeah, and didn't even expect the play there. He looked to try to take control, but Squid just going to jump early, just force him to go there. There's not going to be enough for Ant. It's going to be a tie ball game here immediately. Great job there from KCG Foot Minions.
Squiddy, another place to make things happen. Flipper reset, won't be able to use it. And that actually got players to jump. It's going to be open. Oh. Icarus will take the lead. Chaos double commit for what was a very weak flipper resets. And, well, it works. They won't complain, but You gotta think there, Brock's gotta realize Ant has that challenge. He can't go for it.
Game sense over mechanics all day long. That is proof right there. That's going to be the lead as well. I was going to say, he went for the flip reset. It's not going to find his way, but being able to just turn around, make it a pass, that's just going to be too awkward for KCG to save. But it is now a 2-1 lead for KCG Foot Minions. They are starting to find their foothold in the series, but they have got a long way to go here. If they win this, we'll likely be forced to see a Game 5, which will definitely make this series even more interesting.
Brock, past one, but not past the other. Icarus, challenged by Brock as Chaos will look on offense. Ant will be first to play, but good recovery from Squiddy to just get a piece of that ball. Forced the player to go wide, and now he's got boost and room and a player in front, and that player in front's gonna stop him. Brock, second touch. Brock again, double off the bar, and to go, and it's tied at 2 each.
What a dime there from Brock, just recognizing the space he has is just going to take advantage. Icarus had it up, tried to read the double, but yeah, just going to stay and shadow to play. Great way to stay back there and just punch it in. It's going to be tied at 2 here. We have less than 2 minutes now left in the game, and both players got to try and figure out how they want to try to play the rest of this out. They've got to try and figure out each other, try to figure out a way to put it forward, try to not give up on defense here. The defense for both teams standing strong, but not as strong as they would have liked so far.
A lot more lively so far in Game 2, and I would disagree on you. I think the defense have played well. Giving up only 2 goals is actually pretty good, considering what game mode we are in right now. But the question's going to come down to who breaks next, who finds that opening, and it might be Ant here, one-on-one. He's pretty good on these positions. We'll pinch it off of Squid. He's got the self pass. It's off the bar, and it is kept out by Icarus, but that is some great creativity for Ants, just pinching it off of the challenging Squiddy, and that was the last thing Icarus expected was Squiddy to be the one to shoot this one. Now it's an open net, and with a minute to go, KCG Chaos 1.0 take the lead late.
Yeah, the panic there from KCG Foot Minions, not great. Both players out of boost there, not going to be much you can do in that position. But this is what I mean about the defense. The defense absolutely amazing so far, but you've got to lock it down there. Try not to create as much space, and that's just something that KCG Foot Minions just have not figured out so far in the series.
Oh, but a lot of space here on offense, though, and no boost left. It is Squiddy in the net. Oh, he's just better right now. The fake on one, the play in front. Squiddy will do it all himself.
Squiddy, an absolute menace on the field, gonna just muscle his way through. It seems like he's been training in the weight room before the series. What an amazing 50, and what a way to find the equalizer there. And Icarus immediately gonna take it up, gonna look for the double, but it's easily cleared away by Brock. Just a little bit of pressure there from KCG Minions. Exactly what you want to see if you want to try and break through this KCG Chaos defense.
Half a minute now, and Footman's out of position. Icarus has got boost, but Squiddy doesn't. Off the back wall, Lance. Smart play. He's not gonna go for this one. Instead, we'll just let the play continue on from the midfield. Play off in the air. Flip reset. Has Brock in support, but the pass won't be there. Now the demo. It's 2-on-1. Brock. Flip reset. Ants can't challenge Squiddy off the spawn. And it will be the last 10 seconds. Squiddy again. Everybody come in here. It's an open backfield. Squiddy leaves it. Icarus to go. Oh, he missed it. Oh, he missed it. At 0 seconds, he had a wide open chance. And we go to overtime.
Right there, just gonna be an absolute pain in the side, but it's not gonna matter. Squiddy gonna find the go-ahead in overtime, and we will see Game 3 with a tied series between KCG Foot Minions and KCG Chaos.
Redemption on overtime, and this one won't miss. KCG Foot Minions tie the series 1 game each, and well, this was a lot more lively, a lot more active. Game 1 was that learning process. This game 2 might be how the rest of the series continues, and if it is, this is going to be a very tough matchup to decide who wins.
Yeah, definitely going to be extremely interesting between these two. They've already proven that they can turn around, compete with each other, keep each other close. At this point, it's just going to be a toss-up every single time that a match starts, if this is the rate that we're going at.
Game 3, the lead in the series, and you talk about how Game 2 has been so influential to these teams, how these early games really matter. This game's going to matter. Every game's going to matter early on. You get that early lead, you put more pressure on your opponents. That's kind of the position you want to be in if you're either of these sides. You put the pressure on your opponents, you make them move to you. Once they have to play the way you want them to play, now you're off to, you're now home free to go to the grand finals. So, all about that momentum, all about holding that momentum, all about making sure that you put the pressure on your opponents. So we're going to go to Game 3 to continue this series, but what a big match it will be, what a fun time it's going to be, and what a grand finals we're going to have with one of these two teams making it to play against Blair. But again, as you said before, they're not thinking about that grand finals. Not now, thinking about what this match will bring to them, and what they got to do going into Game 3, and I think for both these teams, they're not going to change anything going into Game 3. They're going to do the same thing they want to do before. The question is going to be, can Footminions prove that they're consistent, or does Chaos find a way to take one back? Because it was close enough that Chaos had their chances. It just felt like that Footminions just had one better chance at overtime, and sometimes that is just a difference maker. So Game 3, I expect no major changes. I just expect to see, if there's going to be consistency or not in this matchup.
You've got to see how they are going to handle it being on DFA Stadium. This is indeed the new stadium. If you have not played this season, this is the 10th anniversary in honor of the 10th year of Rocket League existing. Squiddy going to instantly take the lead here, forcing the defense a little bit awkward. Great play as well. Just nobody back, nobody with boost for KCG Chaos, and Squid just going to find an open net there.
That's the one thing you don't want if you're Chaos. You do not want to play 2v1 against KCG Footminions. If they have two players on offense, they're going to score. You cannot rely on playing that way, so that's one thing they have to avoid. They had to avoid it last game. They did pretty well last game to avoid it. This game, though, early on. That's why that first goal goes in, as here goes Icarus. And there's Ant to save it. Brock with room, and a dribble up ahead. Maybe a flip reset, we'll just go for the challenge. Ant's got space, and he'll go in the air. Over one, maybe still going. It's Ant into the net, but Icarus will clear, and where are the defenders? Icarus can't score, but he's got Squiddy in support. Off the bar, it's still in front, no goals yet. Chaos will recover, and they'll be happy that there was no shot there, because, Brock was completely gone from that play. He pushed up for the shot, and, that very much could have been a 2-0 lead if Footminions recognized it.
Yeah, absolutely perfect there from KCG Footminions to be able to force KCG Chaos a little bit awkward. KCG Chaos gonna find a way to get it around one person without boost. Gonna be on target. Great save from Squid, but Brock gonna be instantly on it. The pressure still gonna keep on building from KCG Chaos here, and oh my goodness, Screen Centered AI gonna try to get it in, but it's just gonna find the crossbar. Crossbar not being friendly to either team so far right now. But KCG Footminions is continuing to maintain their 1-0 lead here in Game 3.
The unfriendly post, as a good old friend of mine in Alligatorsaurus used to say, always hurts the most when it's in playoffs, and KCG Chaos now will look for another chance that's even the score lines, but that's a great play from Icarus, just not playing to anyone. We'll clear this one away as Brock, ooh, it's a bit of a weak first touch, it's a free play for Squid, but Ant's gonna get there in time, and KCG Chaos, a little bit awkward here. Low boost as well for Ants, and man, they can't get out of defense right now. All of them running on low boost. Footminions have done a good job at taking that corner boost as Icarus took another one there. Still, there's nothing left on the KC Chaos defensive line. Squiddy, everybody on Chaos in the same corner, but cleared away by Ant. And Chaos, man, they get out of defense, but just barely there. Ant with a fake, still moving his Ant. It is in front of the nets. Brock's got nothing. It's a race to the ball. Icarus will win this one as Brock, with boost, he's got to make it, but he won't get up in time. And when you're on low boost for as long as Chaos were, eventually you just can't keep up any longer.
Yeah, absolutely intelligent there from Icarus. Able to know that Brock, even with the full boost, he's a little bit too far out of the play, a little bit too far gone. Just going to put it where he can't hit it. And that happens to be top left. He's going to put a top shelf. And it's going to be a 2-0 lead for KCG Footminions as we approach the halfway mark of Game 3.
And for Chaos now in need of goals. Their shots have been there, but they need to score their chances. That finishing needs to be better as, again, on low boost. Icarus is going to leave this one for Squid. Ooh, I don't think it was on the same page there, but with no one challenging, it won't be a harmful issue for them to deal with. The Icarus. Corner. Second touch, lofted high. Brock. Back wheel. Watches Squiddy, takes it away from him. Off the back wall is Ant. Now, Brock. He's kind of facing the wrong direction here. Will win the challenge. The bump on Icarus, his aunt's waiting. Squiddy is not going to shoot this, and KCG Chaos, I mean, they're winning the challenges, but they're still on defense. And every time they're on defense here, it's a lot of time is ticking off that clock. They've got to use their chances. Here goes Ant. The air dribble bump. Huge save for Icarus. Brock on the follow, and Squid will keep it away. A big chance for Chaos and a big chance for Ant, but it will not work in his favor.
Yeah, it looks like KCG Chaos just trying to play patient here, trying to force KCG Foot Minions to overcommit a little bit, but KCG Foot Minions just able to take the reason. Oh, the pancake ain't gonna find the goal there to clean this one up, and KCG Chaos gonna finally put themselves on the board. Great pancake here from Brock Icarus. Trying to get the save, just a little too awkward, just not enough boost as well to get the read, and unfortunately that's gonna go in.
Chaos, that's now one goal closer to buying this game, and Ant might have another one in just a few moments. It's a play on target. It is. Oh, what a save! Squiddy got on the end of it and robbed that chance from Brock. Foot Minions stay alive in this game because of that.
And oh, Squid trying to turn around and flex on him there with a double. Just not able to find it. Icarus gonna get the pre-jump, but easily saved. It's gonna go back to Squiddy. Squiddy trying to get it up to Icarus. Icarus gonna get the pass down. Squiddy just not gonna get there in time. It's gonna fall back to Ant. Ant gonna try and make them pay for it. Great 50, but Squid just gonna ultimately keep it in the net. But Brock gonna be able to clean this up. It's gonna be tied at 2 yet again. Every single time that we've seen this series so far, it has always been close, no matter how low scoring or high scoring it is. And Ant just able to get the job done there with Brock right there in the back line.
Forcing your way in, forcing your way through. Chaos to lead. Oh, what a big save for Icarus. Very reminiscent of what we saw from Squiddy earlier now, as he's got the dribble, the flick. Ant's got this one. As Brock, downfield, Icarus is waiting. Chaos waiting as well. Icarus, flip reset, will. Gonna help play, but Ant's not gonna go. Now Brock will. Ant with room. Squiddy can't challenge. Icarus has got to give him some room as Ant bumps him out. It's a chance to go the other way, but his Foot Minions do have it. Squiddy on 0 seconds will not keep it alive. He didn't challenge in time, and it's overtime for a second game in a row.
Overtime again, exactly how you want to see playoffs if you are a fan of Rocket League. Overtime, always the most intense, always the most amazing thing in the world. But Icarus gonna instantly end overtime here. Gonna find a way to thread the needle somehow, some way. Brock just gonna be a little bit too far forward on the defense there. It's gonna go in favor of KCG Foot Minions, who are gonna go up in the series 2-1. What a game from both teams here.
And another one where it goes to overtime, and another one where Foot Minions just get it off of an immediate offensive chance. And now you ask the question of, this is now consistent now for Foot Minions. What do you change if you're KCG Chaos?
Yeah, definitely gonna have to try and figure something out here if you are KCG Chaos. There's not much that they probably will need to change here. They are playing pretty well. It is a close series. Eventually, you've got to try and figure out what you're doing wrong, what you've got to lock down. You saw them have a lot of pressure in game 1. But that pressure is now gone, starting to go to KCG Foot Minions. 2 overtimes in a row. You saw them quickly strike and break down the KCG Chaos defense.
You said as well, and I think for Chaos, it's really about getting a better start. Both these last 2 games, they've started off pretty slow. And unfortunately for them, those slow starts have hurt them in the long run. So they're going to need a faster start. They're going to need a better start. They're going to need a more active start. Right now, I haven't seen it from them. It just feels too slow, too lackluster.
Yeah, we're going to have to wait a little bit here from Brock. It looks like he got disconnected from the server and stuff like that. So let's hope he's all well and good to go. We'll go ahead and wait for him to join back, but definitely going to be very interesting how they're going to try and take advantage here. We are luckily on game 4. We have about a couple more games left. We aren't on match point for either team here, so definitely a lot more Rocket League that we have to play here.
Yeah, a lot more to go for, so we're not even close to being done, I don't think. But the question of Chaos is, they've got time. What do they change? And I think, again, it's just a faster start, a better start, aggressive start. I feel like that game they didn't take their chances early on in the game, and it was a slow start for them. And again, if they start slow, that's an advantage for Foot Minions. And considering that these matches have been decided all by one overtime goal, it doesn't take a lot to change the scoreline around, does it?
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and make sure everything's good with Brock here. Could be possible technical difficulties. Not unusual sometimes for Rocket League. Unfortunately, a lot of the game's pretty buggy, so can't entirely always blame the players here. But it looks like he is back, so we're gonna go ahead and start up our game 4 here from Utopia Coliseum. It'll be very interesting to see how both players, well, how both teams more specifically try and handle this high pressure situation. As a win here for KCG Foot Minions does lead to a match point here and possibly winning, well, going on to the grand finals. But so KCG Foot Minions is going to be in a little bit of a advantage here. We finally have Brock back. It looks like he had to take a second.
I thought he disconnected again on us. I'll be honest. I was about to call in the reset as well, but these teams are gonna play, and it's in circle 1, and it's gonna have it. I don't know. You know what? We're just gonna say it's the AFK strat on kickoff for Brock. It totally wasn't. It was
the DK strat coming into works finally in the lower matches outside of RLCS. Definitely gonna be absolutely crazy to have here, and immediately gonna get another shot.
You know
on
what?
Target middle of the net.
We're just gonna say
for KCG.
We're just gonna say that it is totally a strat because somehow it's made me confused. It's also made Foot Minions confused. I don't know what happened at the start of this game. Foot Minions better just put it to the back of their mind. Somehow they lost to I don't know how this happens. Well, I do know how it happened. It's 2 goals here off kickoff. What on earth is? They're just gonna say it's a strat here, Chaos. I know they are, but I thought Brock disconnected.
Kickoff, not at all new in Rocket League.
I mean,
it was again made popular by UK, but you love to see it outside of RLCS and find a way to make it work whenever you need it most. And it looks like it is working a little bit for KCG Chaos, even if they aren't trying to do it on purpose. Still finding a way to. Well, actually, it is still part of the reason why we have a 2-0 lead now. Almost 3-0 lead. It was close. But yeah, that was a 3-0 lead. Brock gonna finally find the net there.
Well, whatever
amazing start so far from KCG Chaos.
Whatever they were talking about in between games clearly had helped them out here because Foot Minions just can't seem to slow them down. It's Chaos, and I said it. They need a good start. This is not just a good start. This is an amazing start for Chaos. 3 goals this quickly for a team that has not scored that many goals yet in any of their games so far. This is more than just a positive play for them. This is amazing from them as they're going to go for 4, and they're going to get it too. Well, now there's no questions about how the game has started for them. And Brock, I don't know what changed in between games, but man, they look so much better right now. So much more comfortable.
KCG Chaos just finding their stride. They're going to start popping off here now. They're going to want to try and force a game 6 here, which is going to be very interesting. You really, really want to be able to push this series to the limit. You want to try and show that you can beat your KCG counterpart here in KCG Foot Minions. But they have a lot that they've got to show off here, and Icarus trying to show off the mechanics there with the wall dash. Almost actually caught up to it, but just not going to find a goal there.
Big clear from Ants. Icarus, and if you're Foot Minions, it all starts with the 1 goal. You got to get 1 on that board, at least do something to make Chaos recognize that you are here this game, but all starts with the 1, and that's the 1 goal that Chaos does not want to give up right now, is that first to Foot Minions. And give this team a chance to come back as Brock flip a reset. Icarus waiting. Bump on Ants will be Squid, who stays on it, and again, Chaos just doing well to win possession. They're, again, still playing quite passive, but their offense, what a start they've had this game, and now they don't need to score anymore. That's the scary sign. This team doesn't need to play aggressive. They don't need to score anymore. They're just waiting to see what Foot Minions are going to do, and that's a scary sign. This Chaos team is definitely better on defense than they are on offense, especially when they have a lead like this, so things are going to get tough here as Ants will make it 5, and the Chaos defense continuing to just take down Foot Minions and eliminate their chances, and because they're doing so, they're getting plays the other ways, and they're scoring them, too.
Yeah, this is the first time we've seen either team here in the series just break out like this. We're not even barely halfway through, and we already see a 5-0 lead from KCG Chaos. There's a lot of pressure here for KCG Foot Minions to try and bring this game back, but if this is how it's going to be for the entire game, looks like they're just going to have to talk and strategize how they want to try and make the comeback in Game 5 on Aquadome.
Ant wins the challenge. Chaos, I mean, at this point, not done. They want 6. They're gonna get 6, too. This game has completely gotten away from KCG Foot Minions, and at this point, I don't think they have a chance of coming back. Now the question you have with your Foot Minions is just like, how do you slow this down? I think yeah, they want to reset, too, so they're gonna call Game 4 already. 6-0. No surprises here. KCG Chaos are gonna win this one, so they're not even gonna play out the rest of this game. 6-0. The score line, and rarely do you see teams forfeit games in modes other than 1v1. We saw it here. That tells you just how dominant they were in this game.
Yeah, definitely going to be interesting there from KCG Chaos. So we're going to go ahead and give Game 4 to KCG Chaos on Barrel. See, interesting thing, I don't think Barrel updates.
It doesn't.
Yeah, Barrel's not going to update on stuff like that, so we've got to do that manually, unfortunately, guys. But yeah, definitely interesting. We are going to see a Game 6, though, because the series now tied at 2 apiece. They've got to go to Game 6 in order to try and decide who goes on to play against Play.
That as well. So we're gonna get that lobby back up. I now have to do it manually myself. Loves it when I have to do it manually. There we go. 2-2. So we're gonna go into Game 5 momentarily. But what I can say though is, after how Game 4 is gone, that was dominant from KCG Chaos, and we're now guaranteed at least a 6-game series. So a long matchup here. We rarely see this in this Master Division. In fact, I don't think we've seen many matches go to 6 or more games. We've only seen 3 matches so far this final bracket go to Game 6 or further. So rarely do you see matches take this much time. But hey, these teams are proving it's going to be close. It's going to be competitive as we expected it was going to be. Now we get to go to Game 5, and this is for match point too. I didn't even mention this is for match point as well, AraufbeastRL. So every game feels like it's getting more and more important. This one now, I mean, this is a big one. You get a huge advantage because after this game, momentum's on your side, the pressure's on your opponents to stay alive, and you have 2 chances to win this thing and go to the grand finals.
Yeah, but what definite thing that you do want to see here, hopefully we do get a Game 7. It looks like both teams capable of pushing it the distance. That is pretty much the fan favorite in any series that is close. It's just pushing it to 7 here. Champions Field definitely going to be where all the pressure is going to be if they can manage to get there. And looks like we're having a little bit of technical difficulties again as well.
Not everybody is ready to jump into the lobby here, so I think we're gonna get another server reset on this one. So, yep. Apparently there are some major technical issues, so we're gonna get another server reset here as well. I think it's Ant again with his computer having more issues. So, boy, we're gonna make the lobby again. We're gonna get everybody back in, and as soon as Ant actually lets us know that he's ready, because apparently he's still having some technical issues, we'll get this match going.
Yeah, definitely going to be a potato of a computer for Ant if this keeps happening.
Well,
definitely the first time I've seen that. Like,
it's not the first time I've seen it from
know.
Ants. Not the first time I've seen it from Ants. This is not uncommon from Ants. Unfortunately,
yeah, this is
it means we have to
first time in a while for me. Yeah. Because I personally have a computer that's an absolute potato. I can't even turn it on anymore. But hopefully, Ant is able to continue playing. We're gonna hopefully be able to continue to get more series from him.
Alright, it seems like they're all in.
Yeah.
Right then.
I am currently.
Well, everybody except you are.
Somehow
Somehow you're the last one that's joined in. But here we go. We can get things going here. So everybody's back. Everybody's ready. Let's get Game 5 going here. So hopefully Ant's computer will hold on for a little bit longer here. This is Game 5. Match point on the line. And a spot in the grand finals. 2 chances to get that spot. If you can win here. This Game 5 means so much because, man, this is going to change the series. There's no questions if it's going to change the series. It will. It's just who's going to be the one favored with it.
The biggest thing is you win that grand final as well. You are the best in CPL. This is the best of the best in CPL. This is the Masters division. There's no league that is better in terms of rank and skill. So you really want to be able to try and take advantage here. Try to find a spot in the grand finals, and Squid gonna get the shot on target, bar down. Somehow finds a way to not go out. Ant almost had the clear, but Squid just gonna put it where Brock can't hit it, and it's gonna be 1-0 for KCG Foot Minions in Game 5.
And I'm so surprised Dent's trying to play to the midfield there, because the right idea there was just play it to the corner. They can't score from the corner, so I'm so surprised he played to the midfield, and it might be because he's disconnected again here. Ant's gone already, and unfortunately, because he's now disconnected after that first goal, this game's got to continue, and these teams are going to have to play onward here as Squid will make it 2-0, and, well, this is unfortunate for KCG Chaos. Still more technical issues for them, unfortunately. This game's going to continue from here on out, and because goals keep flying in, Foot Minions are going to take every advantage they have. This is a close series, it's a competitive matchup. Even if it may not feel good, if they can take match point by any means, they'll take it.
Officially back here, as you can see, yeah, he goes for a kickoff now. Looks like they've got to try and figure out a way to lock down. You saw them earlier in Game 4 being able to just quickly take advantage, but it's starting to look like Game 2 and 3 all over again. 2-0 lead for KCG Foot Minions. And as we saw, both of those games went to overtime in favor of KCG Foot Minions. KCG Chaos almost getting a goal there right off the bat, but great defense there from KCG Foot Minions, just able to keep KCG Chaos out the net. And just can continue saying 2-0 here for KCG Foot Minions.
Oh, but they're going to have to play some more defense here as Rock can actually bump this one out. It will be the case, but nothing much there is now off the sidewall. It's a very nice rollout for Brock. Ant's not going to be able to challenge this, so it'll be all Brock, and unfortunately nothing else is off the back corner. Ant, Squid, this one is, oh, it's just kept out as Brock's going to challenge KCG Chaos after the early weak start that they've had here. You said it. This feels very reminiscent to games 2 and 3, except it's an even worse start than they've had before. This has been a slow start for KCG Chaos, and unfortunately, this team does not do well when they have slow starts.
Yeah, I mean, they've been able to keep it close even so, but keeping it close is not enough. You've got to try and find a way to force the issue here. Try to force it close, and it looks like this could be it, but Baker is just able to take that wide shot out and clear it out.
KCG stay on this one. It's Squiddy. Rock. Now for Chaos. Ant. The option, and the clear option to take here, but the pass a bit too slow. Ant's going to be removed before he really can get much going here, as again Brock is all alone, and there's this major disconnect between Brock and Ant right now. Whenever Ant's the last one back, Brock pushes up quite high, and Ant stays very far back. There's this disconnect between both of them, and it's leaving a lot of room in between, and I think Foot Minions are seeing this because every time they're playing one-on-one, because I know once they get past one of these players, there is so much room to score.
Yeah, just unfortunately, I mean, the defense is there for KCG Chaos, but just the rotations not there to take advantage of the defense they do have, and it's going to be a 3-0 lead so far for KCG Foot Minions. But yeah, gotta find a way to make a quick answer. He has Brock in support, but as we boomed back to their own corner. That was a great clear there from KCG Foot Minions. KCG Chaos have to reset here.
Can't. A challenge. Icarus will win the play outright, but Brock, oh, he's been demoed, it's open, and there's no one there to shoot it, but this will actually benefit Foot Minions still. They have a lot of possession, and now they're just playing for time. They're not even needing to score. Playing for time, wasting on opportunities, making KCG Chaos have to wait for their chances, and down by 3, you can't wait much longer if you're Chaos. You gotta push up, you gotta score, you gotta be efficient, but you don't have to do so, and Foot Minions are doing a great job at making that clock tick even faster.
That was a great attempt there from Brock. Had the flipper set, decided to wait to use it, but just not going to find it around the defense. Absolutely amazing defense there from KCG Foot Minions. But Brock going to continue building this pressure. That is something that KCG Chaos have been able to do. They are great at making comebacks and instantly going to find a goal here. They have to get 2 more here in a minute 13. Not impossible, but definitely going to be exceptionally hard for KCG Chaos here.
3-1 here. Foot Minions still in the lead, but you said it, Chaos trying to make that comeback. I feel like, though, it might be too little too late for them. There's only a minute left, and Foot Minions have already proven they can do pretty well at winning and holding offense, so Chaos have got a lot of pressure on them as, oh, what a shot from Icarus! Completely fooling Brock, and KCG continues. Actually, it was Ant who was the last one back getting fooled here as Icarus. Yeah, made him wait. He made him slow down. Perfectly played for Icarus, and it's another goal. Even if it doesn't go in, though, that favors Foot Minions. It just wastes time. Chaos, we're already on low boost, so I love the way the Foot Minions are playing. They're playing for the clock, not for the goals, and it's working so well because Chaos know they are, and they just can't do anything about it.
Yeah, but this is just going to be the interesting thing from KCG Chaos. They know that they can do what they can do. They've just got to figure out how to continue to make the comeback. They've been known to be able to just try to force overtime here. But time is not on their side here. Time is of the essence of always when you're playing Rocket League. And Squid almost with the own goal. Luckily, he's going to go wide. But Ant is just going to try to get the center. But Brock just a little bit too far back to be able to capitalize.
Icarus, with less than 30 seconds to go here, KCG foot minions just hold on for even longer as it's Brock off the corner. It's Brock midfield, will be for Ant as Chaos, so is pushing up ahead, looking for the bump, but Icarus never moved, and it will be an easy play for KCG foot minions as cleared off the back wall. Ant with room, but time's gonna run out. Chaos, no chance to win game 5. That means KCG foot minions, a team in the upper bracket who lost to make it to the lower finals, now only 1 win away from the grand finals itself.
We're going to find ourselves on Neo Tokyo as well. This is going to be very interesting, but it's going to be the interesting thing. KCG Foot Minions, not, I think, the best team on Neo Tokyo from what I've seen so far. They've definitely played well in the past, but they've got to figure out how to try to shut this KCG Chaos team down entirely. They've done well so far, but you've still got one more game that is first to 4 instead of 3. So you're going to wonder, how is KCG Foot Minions finally going to push through and be able to take this series?
Yeah, so we're going to use that timeout now, so I don't think that's too much of a surprise here. Yeah, so Chaos is going to call that timeout. They're going to use their tactical timeout now, so Chaos is going to use an extra minute in between games to talk things out. I don't see any surprise here, Beast, that they're calling one.
Yeah, you definitely need to call one here. You need to figure out what you're doing wrong. You saw that game 4, you were able to take advantage, you were able to strike quickly. But right now, that is absolutely gone. The momentum from that just absolutely dissipated after that game 5. And this series no longer starting to look close. Even though it's been back and forth all series long, it's just not favoring KCG Chaos right now.
Wait another minute here, so it is KCG Foot Minions who, well, they know, I think they had an idea that this was going to be used at some point, and it was going to, I mean, it was either going to be used now or never if you're Chaos, because if you win Game 6, you're not using that tactical timeouts, Chaos. This is their chance to talk about things. They only need to win 2 games. Very doable for them. But they're going to need a good game plan coming in this. If they can design a good enough game plan, that might win them this series. This is so close now that really, whatever game plan you go with, it's either going to win it for you or it's going to lose it for you. You got to design a good game plan. And for Chaos, I know they're thinking and they're talking about what they've got to do to win these next 2 games. Because simply put, if they change something and it works well, it's probably going to continue to work well even in Game 7.
It's the big thing that's going to be in favor of KCG Foot Minions. They have 2 more games. They can lose this game 6 and still go on to the grand finals. That is, oh, excuse the voice crack for a second there, fellas. But yeah, for the most part, they need to win here and now because you don't want to go to game 7. You don't want to go on double match point because it could very well force KCG Chaos to end up winning the series and going on to the grand finals against Blair, which is absolutely not what you want to see for any team losing the lower finals.
Well, we are here in Game 6. Foot Minions can win the series here. The grand finals is within reach, but just because it's within reach doesn't mean that they have it secured. 5 seconds in, already won for Icarus, and they're not taking any chances. They're on the scoreboard immediately off the kickoff.
Yeah, and this is the interesting thing that KCG Foot Minions probably realized. They probably took advantage of the timeout to try and talk as well, but if you know the other teams are taking timeout, then you know something is working, and right now it is continuing to work. KCG Foot Minions back in the lead even after the timeout here.
Brock, Chaos have not done well last game to find their offensive chances early. They're gonna need to work a lot faster here, not even just to come back, but to not give Foot Minions any chance to run away with this game like they did in Game 5, and this might be their chance, but for Icarus to get on the way and get in the way as a flip reset to the back post. Ant's got this one. Squid. Ant will find Brock as 2 touches in a way off the corner. It's Brock again who's trying to put this one in the front side, but now he's out of position 2-on-1 and Squid a heavy first touch. He should have played control there. Now it's room for Chaos again. Whereas Foot Minions, if they'd held control, maybe they get a better chance on that one. As here goes Brock up the front post. It's just wide. Tough angle to begin with.
Play there as well.
But it just it almost went in. It almost was there.
Yeah.
Chaos just needed more chances like that. They're getting very close.
Yeah, Chaos able to find each other a little bit more than they had before. That was a little bit of a close shot there, but just not enough. Both defenders there for KCG Foot Minions just able to stay on the net, is able to stay on the ball and keep it out the net, which is exactly what you want to see. But KCG Chaos looks a little bit better than they were in Game 5 here, but they've got to figure out how to turn around and take advantage in Game 6. This is their last life here in the series, the last life in the tournament as well. And you don't want to go down like this.
Been a long night for both these teams, and only one of them can be happy by the end of it. Ant, pinch midfield, Brock with room with the ball on his car. He's got Icarus ahead, and he's got the flick over. Tie game.
What a flick coming there from Brock. Able to recognize Icarus a little bit too close. Just gonna put a little bit of juice on that one. He's going to find a way to put it top shelf, keep it on target. And it's going to be 1-0 here for KCG Chaos.
3 minutes. 3 minutes to decide a winner. 3 minutes to decide if it's Game 7, Champions Field, or if it's Grand Finals confirmed. Squiddy. Over Ant. And both players upfield. They're out of position, Chaos, but the challenge will be taken. Now it's Squiddy again. Brock's the last one back. Beat on the play, but no goals to be had. Icarus bumped. He won't get an easy play on this, and bumped again by Ant now. Chaos with room again, and oh, what happened here? Brock ran into Ant. A bit of awkward communication, and Foot Minions are just going to challenge this. Room for them. Offensive chances, and Chaos. I better hope that doesn't continue, because if it does, I mean, one of those is going to result in a goal sooner rather than later.
A little bit tech there, because they did bring in everybody forward. The defense is just not there for KCG Foot Minions. KCG Chaos gonna find their go-ahead here, but definitely very great play to try and force the other team awkward here. Try to make them think that you are playing awkward, and absolutely amazing reverse psychology there.
One mistake can change this game. It was a bad attempt at a clear. It went nowhere. Now Foot Minions need to answer back. Squiddy in the air, looking to get down. Both players will not get necked on the bump as it's Icarus again. Still Icarus. Ants.
Yeah, very awkward.
Removed.
Yeah, it's very awkward. And able to get the clear. Able to say, I mean, he's still getting bullied by Squid and Icarus there. And
Brock stopped moving. Brock stopped moving. It's 2v1. Oh, this is horrible timing. Chaos gotta hope that Brock's gonna get back here. It's 2v1 as Ant plays alone, and Icarus will win this one. And it's a tie game again. It's a second straight game where Brock's had a disconnect like this. Unfortunately, at the worst of times, Foot Minions, they scored on it before. They'll score on it again.
Yeah, Brock gotta find a way to try and stay in this series. You don't want to see him in this kind of situation. It looks like he's finally going to be back, able to narrowly get the save, but Ant just going to be too awkward of a situation here. And luckily, he is able to beat one, but Squid immediately going to try to put this in so close, but just going to find the crossbar. One of the 3 permanent defenders of the KCG Chaos net.
And I mean, just talk about all the disadvantages that Chaos have this matchup. They're running from the lower bracket. They are much more exhausted. They've had to play more matches to begin with. They're playing against, again, a team like in Foot Minions who themselves are played in the upper finals. You know, you talk about Ant and all his computer issues. That could have potentially resulted in a forfeit of some form. Now they got to go back. They're down in this game. Brock's had his own disconnects, and he's playing while, you know, trying to recover from a past surgery. It feels like there's so much that's going against Chaos right now. To stay alive in the series has been quite impressive, to say the very least, but they've got to get one more goal. A minute left. The time is theirs. They've got to make it happen.
Exactly 60 on the clock. Very doable, but it is not always going to happen. Ant can instantly try to fake out the defense here and try to take the instant shot. Icarus a little awkward, but able to make the save. Going to be right back to Brock. They've got to get the 50, but it's just not going to find its way over. Ant able to finally get it cleared downfield though, but Squid just there. But Ant, oh, the touch! But just too awkward for KCG Chaos. They've got to try and score here. You don't want to go down in Game 6 knowing that you could have very well won this series.
You feel like that disconnect goal might be the difference maker right now. Ant with room. 2-on-1. Icarus not in position!
KCG Chaos gonna finally find their equalizer here. Exactly what you want to see to try and stay in this series. They needed that goal badly. But you've got to find another one if you want to try to keep the series alive. You are down in the series. In Game 7, their only hopes of being able to win this series.
Champions Field is where they want to go, but Foot Minions have other ideas. Flip reset for Icarus. Ant wins it. Icarus, it's in front of the net. Brock will be first. 10 seconds to go. Chaos looking for one last chance, but it's going to be Foot Minions who have it. Squiddy in front. Flip reset. Back wall double. It is in front of the net. Brock will clear, and it's Icarus who will hit it to the ground. Overtime in Game 6. Foot Minions are one away from the grand finals.
Now, either team looking for the golden goal. One goal will keep the season alive for both teams here, but the other will end the other team's season. Squiddy trying to be the evil genius here, trying to be the villain of KCG Chaos, the Storage Center, and gonna pull back here. Demo from Icarus, not gonna put KCG Chaos in a favorable position here. But just not gonna find the net, not gonna find the center here for KCG Foot Minions.
If I'm not wrong, Chaos have not won any of the overtime so far this series. It's been, I think, 2 of them so far. And Foot Minions have won both of them, but this has been longer than both those overtimes combined. And a miss on defense! Brock's got it! And we go to Game 7!
Champions Field going to happen at last. We are gonna find who is gonna win the series. Double match point for both teams here. And it's gonna all come down to this. After so much back and forth, amazing gameplay from both players here. Well, from both teams here.
And I think a question now, if you were Foot Minions, do you call the timeout? This game was close, it was competitive, it felt like they had advantages at times. Do they use that timeout? They still have one, as well. They still haven't. They haven't used it at all series. But if they choose not to use one, that's a big decision, and I don't think they are. So, Foot Minions clearly see something that they liked about this Game 6, and I don't blame them. They played well. Just overtime couldn't go their way. Chaos had quite the comeback here. AraufbeastRL, it's Game 7, and it's Champions Field. We have not seen this in a while in this final bracket, and again, a big call for Foot Minions not use that timeout, but considering both these teams are playing as confident as they are, Game 7, what a huge way to end the night.
Yeah, but it's definitely going to be very interesting. If you are watching from my view, you are seeing a little bit of lag from the KCG Foot Minions and from KCG Chaos as well. So it's going to be very interesting to see if the internet for both teams can try and stay solid here.
Game 7, Champions Field. This is it. The grand finals awaits, and only one game decides it. These teams have never played each other before. They've never competed against each other before. And yet now they have, and it goes the distance as well. Game 7, Champions Field, and you gotta think Chaos have had all the disadvantages tonight that they could have asked for. Disconnects, PC issues, server resets. You talk about coming off of a surgery if you're Brock. For Ant, he himself probably not feeling in the best mindset because of how Game 1 went. He even mentioned after Game 5 in chat he's not been feeling pretty happy. So, feels like all the disadvantages right now are on the side of Chaos, and yet they have somehow battled all this way back. Both teams are only one game away, one match away, one performance away from the grand finals to take on Blair in the Masters Division. Here we go, Game 7, 5 more minutes left, and only one team can advance.
Yeah, winner of this game goes on to play against Bled. No more mucking around, no more trying to figure out how to get a win here in this series. It is do or die at this point. Winner goes on to grand finals, loser goes home.
No lives either. This is elimination on the line too. You lose this, your season's over. And in dramatic fashion as well. Icarus wins that challenge. Ant's gonna get a demo. Squiddy up next, but will choose not to go defensive here for Foot Minions early on, not challenging when they don't have to, as Icarus again wins that boost. It's Squiddy on his own, shot on! Saved by Ant, as he'll bounce off the corner, flicked the other way by Chaos, as both players on Foot Minions in a position. Now they're racing back to the back wall. It's Ant to win it, but no shot made as that ball pinged across the nets. In front as well, Brock, Squiddy almost got bumped out the way, but it will be Chaos ball still, as Ants again clear back to Squiddy, and Foot Minions in control. This game, only a minute gone by. The pace has already felt like it's picked up here off base, and these teams rush in and get to every single block, every single play, leaving no stones unturned.
Yeah, the tension really high here. Is Game 7 is do or die, as I said before. So you've got to figure out how you want to get this. You can't make any mistakes. Icarus gonna find the first goal of the game here with a minute and a half taken off the clock already. Absolutely stellar flip reset. Brock just not able to make the save. KCG Flip Minions gonna go up 1-0.
1.5 minute gone, 3.5 to go, and only 1 goal scored. Foot Minions take the early lead again. But as we've seen before, those early leads, they can be deceiving. And in Game 7, who knows? Chaos get 1 chance, and who knows? They're right back in it. Icarus to clear. Brock, demo it out of the way. 2v1 up the field. Squiddy looking for Icarus, but not on the same page. And this is right back to Ant with room. Bumped out. Icarus, not a great first touch, but it will be for Squiddy. Ant to clear. Brock's got room. Brock's got a one-on-one. Brock against Squiddy. The challenge is won. It's off the back wall. But Icarus is back in time. And Foot Minions will hold on. The challenge not taken. Icarus played out of position as in goes Brock. And again, another one-on-one as Brock's already upfield. What a play from Squid. A huge fake challenge. And it is KCG who continue to play perfect defense right for now as every challenge so far going their way. But yeah, they've been playing a lot of 1v1s. It's exactly where Chaos wants them to be.
Yeah, KCG Chaos gotta try and figure out how to finally get a goal here. Try to figure out how to get this forward. And gonna try to take it up the sidewall here. Gonna be able to get the 50. Look for the bump. He gets the touch around instead. But great clear from Squid. Icarus gotta try and clean this up. Almost nobody back on the KCG Chaos half. But it's still pretty awkward for both teams as they try to figure each other out. Just trying to figure out how to bring the pressure here. And it looks like it is starting to ramp up from both teams here. Brock gonna try to take it from the sidewall. Try to get the center. Try to get it forward. But it's going to be instantly cleared back and forced to rush back here. KCG Foot Minions has done an amazing job of trying to force the issue from their own goal line to bring the pressure back to KCG Chaos. Great clear there from Brock, but it's going to go right back to KCG Foot Minions here.
The Ours are playing a bit too direct right now on offense. It's too obvious what they're doing. They're going to need to change things up. They're going to need to do something that is going to be a lot tougher to handle as Foot Minions just, again, clear that ball away. Only a 1-goal score line so far, but Squid looks for 2. Brock avoiding the bump. Still Brock on his own as Ant upfield in an odd position. Will be pushed back as Squid leaves it. Icarus on his own, looking to go under the last defender, but Ant never fell for it for a second. Now he's got boost, and he's got Brock in support. He's gonna look across, but Squid cutting down the options, and he'll win that challenge too. Some big defensive plays from Squid, and Foot Minions go the other way.
Yeah, KCG Chaos gonna try to find a way to capitalize here. They've not been able to do it so far. And a demo coming from Icarus, not gonna help any more than already has a double demo there. And then they're going to be almost wide open for KCG Foot Minions, but the defense just going to stand strong for KCG Chaos. They are still down by 1, however. You've got to try and force the issue now, or your season is over for KCG Chaos.
Less than a minute now. Maybe chance for 1 goal more, and it might be Icarus who gets it. Save away. Brock on the race. Now he's going to net with a game on his car. Brock to go. The bomb. The goal. The goal for Brock. Tied again.
Great demo there from Brock, able to recognize that Swift just gonna try and go for the save. Unfortunately there for KCG Foot Minions, Brock just going supersonic speed, just gonna get the demo instead. And it's gonna be a 1-1 game here as we approach the last 30 seconds of Game 7. Overtime starting to look very possible as the clock begins to wind down here.
Ant to Brock, another one-on-one. He's done it before, he'll look again. Icarus is waiting, and it will be save away. Icarus with Squiddy only doesn't get the touch he wanted there. Still possession for Foot Minions, maybe one last chance here in regulation. Icarus, nothing to have it. Overtime in Game 7. 1 goal. 1 goal is all they ask for.
The script could not have been written any better here, Sporty. Game 7 overtime, absolutely phenomenal way to try to end the series in fashion here. Both teams proving that they can go the distance, and they are going the very distance, the most you can go. One goal will settle it all here for KCG Chaos and KCG Foot Minions. And it is already starting to look very interesting here. Squiddy looking for the double. That's a double on target. Squiddy
It's over!
gonna put KCG Foot Minions in the grand finals against Blay. What amazing play here.
It's over! It's done! Foot Minions, what an ending! Game 7's theirs! And so too is that spot in the grand finals. They get the rematch as well, AraufbeastRL. What an ending, what a performance, and for Chaos it will all be for nothing. They won't be happy about it, but that's game, and it will be a big performance. Foot Minions, what an ending for them, in overtime as well. Boy, they had to play well, and for KCG Chaos who had to go all this distance, they'll be unhappy with how this game ended. But my goodness, Foot Minions, credit all to them. That is a big victory to win, and a big goal to end it.
Yeah, and it all came down to the final second. It was not even that much of a big advantage there for KCG Foot Minions. It was all close. It went to game 7, and then it went to overtime. And we even saw about a few seconds overtime, almost a minute there on the clock before finally KCG Foot Minions able to break through.
What a showing. What a match so far. Man, that is high intensity to say the very least, but these teams proving what they are worth here. 7 games AraufbeastRL. What a long series, but credit now goes all to Foot Minions. They're in the grand finals. They got their rematch that they wanted from the upper finals as well. I mean, you could not have asked for much better than this, and, well, Foot Minions will win it. Tonight's their night. Maybe another night it's KCG Chaos who wins this one, but tonight's Foot Minions' night. They're into the grand finals. They can take on Blair to win the whole thing, and if they can play consistently, if they can play competitively, if they can play clutch like they have tonight, you know, who knows? We've seen greater upsets happen.
Yeah, but for now, we're going to go ahead and look into getting an interview from KCG Foot Minions. What an amazing series we saw there. We will be back after the intermission. Please stay tuned, everybody.
What a showing. Oh my goodness. Well, for all of you out there on stream, I haven't gone to intermission yet for all of you on stream, so I'm going to keep you guys with us. But what a showing here tonight. I hope I haven't lost my voice yet. That was exhausting. But it was fun. I can't deny it was exciting to say the very least to all of you out there on stream. Prediction pool has been closed, and well, I have to say, what a night it has been. We'll see if we got one. It's kind of late. I don't know if these teams are going to want one, but they're just impressed with how so far. AraufbeastRL, just talk me through how you're feeling now. Obviously, your stream's under intermission, but mine's not. How are you feeling? You know, now kind of watching this matchup. I mean, we haven't seen Game 7 a lot in this final bracket, but we have seen it a couple times. This one, though, this is a big match and a huge performance, and he said it came down to the wire, it came down to one big play at the end. But hey, credit to them. That shot was perfect. It was an absolutely amazing play, and what a performance. I don't think we're gonna get an interview after all. That's sad. No interview though. It looks like.
Yeah, definitely very interesting from them, able to turn around and take advantage. They did go down first. They did not win game 1, but just being able to battle back and find a way to take the lead. And they did have a couple of downsides there, losing both game 4 and 6, which was very unfortunate. Great way for KCG Chaos to be able to battle back, but unfortunately, it's going to be all KCG Foot Minions in game 7.
And we are getting a call, no interview. They're not able to make one. So, well, we won't have one here. I feel sad that we didn't have one, because this would have been a great match to talk about. But hey, they get to now prepare for the grand finals. You know, couldn't have thought of another better team to compete against the Blair roster in the grand finals. See if they can take down the team that has been tearing through the competition. For now, though, to all of you out there on my stream, thank you all so much for joining the Sweatiest stream, joining me and AraufbeastRL. Before we go, AraufbeastRL, do you have any final messages, any shoutouts, anything else you want to say?
Definitely gotta give a shout out here to Krusty. What an amazing org owner and just an amazing league owner as well, being able to support us through everything. Just absolutely amazing there from Krusty so far during the season.
Yeah, seriously, as and to all of you out there watching, thank you so much. Congrats to KCG Foot Minions. But man, what a night has been. I'm gonna go, because it's late for me. I gotta go to sleep. For all of you out there, though, thank you all so much for joining. Have an amazing rest of your evening, everybody. and we'll be back soon. Hopefully I'll get some grand finals on this stream, but for now, take care. Have a great night, everyone!